Once upon a time, a girl named Felicity and a boy named Peter bought an abandoned 1830s farmhouse in New York with the intention of loving it and bringing it back to life. One of the key steps of bringing it back to life was to have a septic system and a driveway. And so on a gray, cloudy, overcast day in August, Peter met with the electrician and the backhoe stroke septic expert to discuss those sexiest of systems, septic and the driveway. So first things first, let's talk about the most complicated thing, which is the septic system. We had hoped to be able to locate the existing septic system on the property and ascertain whether it was still usable, but nobody can find the septic system, the original septic system on the property. A couple of our contractors and inspectors were sure that the septic field was to the north of the house, which would not make very much sense because the well is to the north of the house and the stream is to the north of the house, but that's where they thought they had located the outpipe in the basement for the septic system. It turns out that outpipe was not actually an outpipe connected to any system. It is just a piece of trash. And so we have no idea where the current septic tank is or where the current septic field is. We had planned for this contingency, but we'd hoped we wouldn't need it because new septic systems, you all probably know this better than I do, new septic systems are ridiculously expensive. They are tens of thousands of dollars. So on the one hand, not knowing where the existing system is has given us a lot of freedom to put the system exactly where it should be. On the other hand, there's no existing infrastructure to work from. So the first thing we need to do, now that we know we don't know where the current septic system is, we need to figure out how permeable our ground is about 10 feet down, because obviously how permeable your ground is has a lot to do with how quickly it will drain out your septic system fields. So this video is walking back into one of the two areas of the back forest, part of the lawn, where we think the septic will go. And what Steve and Jeff did today is they did what's called a perk test in several different places. Now we had really hoped, because the ground is quite shaly, can you say that? It's quite full of shale and rocky back here. We had hoped that the ground was going to be quite permeable. Unfortunately, that turns out to be the exact opposite. There's about 2.5 feet of really good topsoil underneath here, and then there is clay. And clay retains water, which is great if it's at the bottom of your pond, not great if you're trying to get water to percolate out of your septic system. So we have to design the most expensive leach field and sand trap to go with our system. And so there's two places on the property we can put them. One of them is here, which is closer to the barn. It would cut a 30 by 50 foot swath of the forest. We're thinking we might put it here because from my office window upstairs, this would give a view of the lake. We're cutting those trees down. The other place that we might put it is at the end of the driveway. And one of the things that we really need to decide is where I would like it, because I was not out there to see this in person. And the other thing is to do some measuring. Your septic tank has to be 50 feet from the well, and I think quite a bit further away from the stream. And then your leach field has to be 100 feet from the well. So that was the first thing, was just to kind of walk around and figure out where on the property those would go. I'm not thrilled about the footprint that will take up. That is a huge amount of space. 30 by 50 is 150 square feet that could be used to grow something else, but we have to have a septic system. They don't allow gray water here. They don't allow composting toilets and stuff like that to get a certificate of occupancy to live in the house, which is what we would need on this short notice. So we're going to have to go ahead with the septic system, but I am not thrilled with it. In other news, however, you can see that the crew is here working today on clearing out the shed and taking the shed apart. There is quite a lot of junk in the shed, just as there was quite a lot of junk in the barn. Okay, so that was the septic system. So let's move on to something way more fun, which is the driveway. And I want to say thank you to Peter for recording all of the footage you're seeing in today's video, and also for being brave and letting his voice appear on this channel for the very first time. So Peter, take it away.
So we've staked out the driveway here. This is the new driveway that we've put in. We're walking down through the driveway area. The carport is going to be at the shed here to the right on that foundation. And the driveway will continue down to this stake for the turnaround. We're going to have a keyhole turnaround that swings around here. Large enough for a truck, moving around to this stake. And then we come back and head back up through the driveway. And back on out.
So there you have it, a septic system and a driveway. But wait, there's more. And I hear you saying, Felicity, how could there possibly be more? This has been so thrilling thus far. Well, there's a bonus. We were also going to talk to Jeff about the culvert that we wanted to put up at the front of the property so that the water, when it runs off the road, doesn't run into the house. And Jeff had a slightly different idea. So, once again, here's Peter.
Because of some erosion concerns, we're thinking of putting in a French drain. It would start here right in front of the tree, just at the spillway area that goes down through here, that has been filled in right now with loose gravel and dirt. The French drain would be cut through here and filled in with gravel. Pass right in front of the old well. This is not the well that we use. We have a proper modern drilled well. But this will be in front of the entire house so that it will take care of any flow coming downhill. And then will be taken all the way here, at least, to divert it to the downhill slope away from the house. We could take it even further, all the way over here. To this spillway and creek bed. But we have to decide if we want to do that and learn if we're able to.
So that is it for today. Thank you for joining me. I know this wasn't the sexiest and the most fun of videos to watch, but this is part of the experience. Staking out driveways, figuring out how to not flood your house when there's a 100-year flood. It does get more exciting, I promise, and I really appreciate you being along on this journey. This is part of caretaking. This is part of stewardship. This is part of making sure that the infrastructure is in place. So thank you very much for hanging out with me today, and a big thank you to Peter for letting his voice appear on this channel, and I will see you guys soon with another update. Bye for now.